Latte art, just as good as it always was. Greetings and salutations, this is Rick. I do hope you're having a great day. I'm back, sort of. Cheers. Oh yeah, I may not be good at latte art, but I'm good at making a coffee. Oh yeah, just what the doctor ordered. So, how have you been? It's been 7 weeks since my last video. Have I got a... I feel like I've got a milk moustache. 7 weeks ago, I put up a video saying, farewell YouTube. Notice I use the word farewell and not goodbye. Farewell, of course, meaning see you again at some point soon. And so here we are, back again. It's been an interesting couple of months, and well, let's have a chat about it. I actually went to use my GoPro Hero 11, and because it's been sat idle for nearly 2 months, the battery was completely depleted and I couldn't get the camera to start. So I've just been faffing around for the last hour trying to get it all to work, and it's back up and running again, but I've got this much battery power left and I've got no other batteries. I just bought this Enduro battery, but it's charging, so hopefully it's not going to cut me off mid-sentence. So here we are, 7 weeks after I decided to take a little break from YouTube, and I'm still sort of seeing myself as on a little bit of a break, but I thought I'd have a go at making a video just to see how we go, see if I can get back into the idea of doing video logs and things. So about 7 weeks ago, I essentially hit a wall. I don't know whether it was some sort of a burnout or what, I don't know, but I suddenly just hit this wall and I didn't want to do anything. It was quite strange, but I suppose it was still, the weather was still quite bad, so I was very much in that kind of winter hibernation mode anyway. But I honestly lost my drive to do anything, and that's resulted in me just not doing anything for 2 months. All I did was basic tick over. I did hardly anything. I vegged out in front of the TV and I just switched off, walked away from life, just sort of came indoors, shut the door, didn't want to go out, and it was pretty intense. And so I just sat around and wasted 7 weeks of my life doing nothing. And I'm just starting now to feel like I'm coming out of the other side of that now. Quite what it was all about, I don't know, but obviously I needed to have a break and, you know, sort of walk away from everything for a while, and I touch wood, I mean, it seems to have worked. So here I am having a go at making another video again, and we'll see where that goes. But while I was on that downtime, I did do a little bit of dabbling. I actually started another YouTube channel. I was curious to know whether it's even possible to start a YouTube channel now and get any traction whatsoever. And what I did, I spent about a week just studying how to create a YouTube channel in the current environment that's going to be successful. And I made a bunch of videos, probably about, I don't know, 15 or 16 of them, little short videos that ticked all of the boxes. They were like properly keyword searched, they were or search engine optimized, or whatever you call it. They were on subject matter that was in the form of a how-to or a question, and they were videos titled and content according to what there is demand for. So I did everything like as best as I could to the book, did everything I was told I need to do in order to have a successful YouTube channel. And I put up these 16 videos, one after the other, sort of several a week. And I did essentially what I know how to do, which is like voiceovers, and I did like these little Zen stories, your little life wisdom stories and things like that. Made some beautiful little graphics that went with them, and that was pretty much all I did in the last 7 or so weeks. That was the only creative thing I did, and put them up. And all right, I know it's early days. I sort of only did it sort of 2 months ago, but despite everything about those videos ticking all the right boxes, my highest viewership video on that channel was about 60 views. It was so disheartening that I just was not getting any views on them. So I kind of wrote it off as a bad idea in the end, because I thought there's just no way this is going to get any traction. It's, you know, I'd put a video out, even put a few shorts up as well, and some of them have no views. You know, some of them have like 1 view, which is probably me. But it was very disheartening, and I really feel for anybody who wants to start a YouTube channel now, where you just, you know, you put all this time and effort and work into it, and then you just get no traction. And in the end, after like 15 or 16 videos, I thought, I'm completely wasted my time. Although, to be honest, I really enjoyed making the videos and doing the little voiceovers. They're only little short videos, but now I'm hearing that the idea is that if you want traction on your YouTube videos, they need to be longer now. So what I actually did was I tied 3 or 4 of the little Zen stories together into a single video, and then that got sort of, you know, a little bit more in the way of views, but it still wasn't anything exciting. I may carry on with the channel or not, I don't know. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go check it out. You know, maybe if you go and check it out and subscribe to it, it might give it a little bit of a boost, and then I'll start adding some more videos to it and just see whether I actually get any traction on that. But that's pretty much all I've done in the last 7 weeks. That's the only creative thing I've done. However, the other day I was flicking through the web and I stumbled across this picture. Now, for a while, I've been pondering this feature wall in my house. Now, it's been like this for a long time, many years. And I mean, it looks fine, but I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking I would like a change. And I'll just, you know, swap it around. I'm still going to stick with my generally white house and my white floors and my white walls. I think white is a lovely neutral colour, and I don't know, it just gives a clean feel to the house. Anyway, I was thinking about this, been thinking about this feature wall for quite a while, and I stumbled across this picture. I'll show you this picture here. It was from a company. I think it was one of those cheap Chinese goods companies, and I'm not even sure what they were advertising, but this picture caught my eye and I thought, that looks really posh. And I just kind of had this little light bulb go off in my head, thinking I would love the challenge of seeing whether I can emulate that on my feature wall. Now, if you don't know what a feature wall is, if you have a plainly decorated room, it's always a good idea to have at least one wall that is different and stands out to the rest. Otherwise, it kind of looks like a hospital waiting room. But as soon as you put a feature wall in, it just breaks everything up, and it just, I don't know, it just has a much more homely feel to it. So anyway, I've got parts on the way. Some of the parts have arrived. The wallpaper's already arrived. The gold stripes have arrived. I'm waiting for the marble sheets to arrive today. And I'm going to have a go, not in this video, but I'm going to have a go at changing over that feature wall. And we'll see how we get on. Now, one of the other things about this this downtime, this hitting this wall and not wanting to do anything, as you know, before that happened, I was doing the carnivore diet. I was doing this kind of challenge. I lasted about 72 days before the gallbladder started playing up. That's all settled down. It's absolutely fine now. Not even getting a peep from it. Still haven't had my scan. Still waiting on the NHS for a scan of it. But you know, that's been months and months now. But anyway, I'm not worried about it anymore. It's just, you know, it's settled down. So but while I was doing that 70, well, it's supposed to be a 90-day challenge, I lost a ton of weight. I can't remember exactly how much it was, but when I hit that wall, I just kind of let everything fall away. I just, like I say, I just didn't have any drive. I didn't have any purpose. I didn't have any reason. And hence, I ended up for about a month just eating all the foods that I wasn't supposed to. And I've put back on about half of what I lost. Fortunately, I sort of managed to put the brakes on before those scales went too high. But I was watching those scales going up like every other day, and I didn't care. And that's when I knew, you know, this is this is not right, this is not good. And that's when I knew I really need to sort of pull myself up by the jack boots and sort of, you know, get a grip and get back on again. Anyway, long story short, after about a month, I thought, right, this is ridiculous. All that hard work, it's going to waste. I need to reel this in. And so I decided that I'm not going to go back to carnivore, simply because I've tried to stick with carnivore for the last 2 years. And I mean, don't get me wrong, carnivore was incredible. It was miraculous. It ticked all of the boxes I needed it to tick. And it kind of gave me my life back. But it was still kind of torture to maintain. And I fell off the wagon so many times. And that wasn't so bad in itself, because I just picked myself up and got straight back on again. But it was the psychological battle that was involved with that, because every time I fell off the wagon, I felt like a failure. I felt like crap. I was really hard on myself each time. I was kind of beating myself up, and it was just this vicious cycle that I just could not break out of. So after 2 years of trying to stick with doing the right thing and not being able to do it, I decided, well, obviously I can't go on doing this where I'm just constantly beating myself up, constantly like battling to try to do the right thing and then falling off the wagon, you know, every sort of few days or every week or whatever. It was ridiculous. So I sat down, I tried to figure out what's the answer? What can I do to make this work? And in the end, I figured out that the reason I kept falling off the wagon was because the foods, although, you know, beef and meats are nice, after a very short time, they become insanely boring. And just so tedious. And, you know, it's all very well saying, you know, you can eat a ribeye steak every day. That's great for the first couple of days. And then it's like, really, again, there's the appetite fatigue was a massive, massive deal. And it just kept derailing me time and time again. So the most logical solution was, okay, how do you do this? How do you stick with low carb, keep away from the sugars, but still have foods that are really, really delectable, really, really enjoyable? And so I figured out the only way for me to do this is to dial back to keto. Now, keto foods can be delicious. I can look forward, when I'm hungry, I can look forward to mouth-watering foods on the keto diet, and I'm still in the state of ketosis. And so about a month ago, I did exactly that. I started doing keto foods, had a lot of dairy, a lot of cheeses, a lot of the real yummy stuff. I would have like lemon cheesecakes that I can make that are purely, you know, no sugar at all. And it was a really good move. And the problem with the carnivore was when I fell off the wagon, I didn't have anything in the house. So it was the worst possible result because, you know, that day when I sort of have that moment where I'm like, oh, to hell with everything, I'm going to eat what I want. I had nothing in the house, so I would end up ordering things like McDonald's and all of the things, McFlurries and all of the worst kind of things, rather than actually having stuff in stock, that would at least give me a bit of a balanced meal. So this switch over to keto has been miraculous in so much as even on the days where I'm like, I could really do with something, a little bit more yummy, I'm not actually resorting to fast foods. I've actually got stuff in the freezer or in the fridge that do make a really lovely meal, and so the temptation to order fast food is not there. So it's kind of like this dial back thing that's worked, and it's like this happy compromise. But anyway, just recently I've discovered joints. I had a big beef joint in the freezer. It'd been there for quite a few months, and I thought this needs using up, and so I cooked it up a few days ago, and I used a Jamie Oliver recipe where he chopped up a bunch of vegetables, cooked. Well, you sear the beef joint, cook it on top of the vegetables in the oven for about, I don't know, hour and a half. And then afterwards, you take the meat off, let it rest, and then you take all the vegetables and all the meat juices, you pour them all together, chuck them in a saucepan, chuck in a load of red wine, and simmer it all down for half an hour, and then you mush it all up and then drain it off in a sieve, and it is the most incredible gravy you have ever had. And so I made that discovery, had the most, talk about bliss point in the food. I didn't know it was possible for beef to taste that good with this incredible gravy. So I had that, had a bunch left over, which I turned into a stew the following day with some vegetables like onions, carrots, a little bit of cabbage, and a little bit of celery as well. And that made the most sumptuous stew, which lasted another 2 days. So I've kind of twigged onto this idea, and I've checked also this morning, I'm still in ketosis. So even though I'm adding red wine and some vegetables to the meat, I'm still able to stay in ketosis, and I've got this absolutely mouth-watering food. So this is pretty much the way I'm going forward, is most of my foods now are going to be beef, joints, cooked properly, like a Sunday roast, with the vegetables. The vegetables make the gravy makes the beef absolutely irresistible, and then anything left over becomes a stew with more vegetables, and that's like a 3-day cycle. So you got your main course on the first day, and then stew for the next 2 days, and then on the 4th day you're back to another joint. So I think that's how I'm going to go forward with the food, and I think that's pretty sustainable, and I stay in ketosis as long as I stay away from the sugars, and I can still have things like lemon cheesecake, which I've got some here, which I made. And all this is for the base, instead of using digestive biscuits, you're using almond flour, which is really low in the carbohydrates. And then for the main mix, that's just soft cheese, thick cream, no, not thick cream, just heavy cream, the pourable type, whisked together with lemon and the sweetener. I've got a little tiny bit of sweetener in it, which is stevia based. It's not particularly good for you. I think it's an alcohol type sugar, which I can't have too much of it because my stomach doesn't particularly like it, but I can tolerate small amounts. But it's just enough to make that absolutely delicious. I mean, look how yummy that looks. I've been chipping away at that. I had a little bit, it was that big earlier, and I got in there with a knife and had a little bit, and I should no doubt have some more tonight. But if you want the video on how to make that, I shall probably make one. I keep thinking about, I've just recently been watching a bunch of videos where people have been taking old rubbishy furniture that people are throwing out, and they've been flipping them, and they've been renovating them, painting them up, adding gold leaf to the edges and all the features and everything, and adding on some posh little mouldings and little handles and things. And they turn this like rubbishy old bit of furniture into something that looks absolutely stunning. And I kind of got a little bit hooked on those videos. It's what a lot of the videos that I was watching while I was, you know, just sort of chilling and having my time out. And it got me onto the thought of gold leaf. I would love to have a go with gold leaf, just because it's used so often in so many of these you know, renovation projects, and it makes such a massive difference. Anyway, I bought myself a little gold leaf kit just to have a little play, and I thought, what can I put gold leaf on without it looking, you know, too bad? Anyway, got that little chair there, and it's got these little wooden legs. And so I thought, I'm going to have a little go at gold leafing those legs just to see what it looks like. And I've got the kit comes with like the gold leaf glue and the varnish you put on afterwards as well. So I'm going to have a go with that. And if that's something I enjoy doing, then I may look at perhaps some other projects with you know, a similar theme. And I was thinking maybe even like the picture frames I could make gold. Although to be honest, no, I won't do that, because I think black picture frames make the picture within them pop. If they're gold, I don't know, I'm not sure they're going to have the same effect. I might try it with one just to see what it looks like. It might actually look quite cheesy, I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Hiya.
Morning.
Can you hold this item?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, this has come from Vinyl Warehouse, and this, let's have a quick look at it. This is going to be the marble feature on the feature wall. If I show you the picture again, what it is I'm going for is these marble inset panels set on top of the bluish wall. And if I can get this off. Now, I've used Vinyl Warehouse for a lot of stick-on vinyl and stuff, because it's they're really good. They've got a massive selection and the prices aren't ridiculous. Well, some of them are. I was looking at the gold sheeting, and that was that was like I mean, obviously it's the genuine stuff, but it was hundreds of pounds. But let me just get a pair of scissors on this. But what I like about the Vinyl Warehouse, they're a company based in the UK, but you can buy as much or as little off the roll as you need. So, you know, if you're going to do, I don't know, just a little piece of furniture or something, you don't need to buy a 50-metre roll of it. You can buy like a 2 or 3 metre roll. So it's really useful in keeping the prices down if you're doing renovation. I mean, I was even pondering at some point, like kitchen cupboards, whether I could cover those. But to be honest, I think they're fine as they are. I actually quite like the clean, shiny white. But if at a later date I get a little bit creative, you can put this vinyl on and change the look of everything. And then if you don't like it or you get fed up with it, it just peels off. You just use a hairdryer and it peels off. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. So that is the marble, and see how shiny that is. Hopefully you can see that. Let's have a look. Can you see that? Yeah, that's going to be used as the feature on the wall. It's really thin as well, which is good because I don't want it standing out from the wallpaper, although it's going to be lined with some, I should get some gold tape as well. So hopefully that's going to look really good. So that is it. I've got all of the equipment I need. So I've got the wallpaper here. Let's have a look. So there's the wallpaper. That's going to be the basic colour. It's kind of this blue-grey colour. I'm not sure how that's going to show up on the camera. But yeah, the blue-grey colour wallpaper. Then we've got the inset of the marble, and then we've got the gold stripes as well. And I'll be really interested to see how that turns out. So that's going to be a little future project. Now the only thing with the feature wall is it's going to look a bit weird having pictures up on it as well, so I may have to rethink that. And also the trophies, because I'm literally going to do this wall, but I'm going to come over here as well. So and then probably have a marble panel feature on here as well. So quite whether the little plaques are going to fit on it, I don't know, unless I actually make the marble inset in such a way that I could put the plaques on it, maybe. Don't know. I'm going to have a think at the time. But I'm going to have to take down, this is a lighting system I've got, and if I turn it on, this, it's a really good lighting system in so much as these are LEDs with the individual addresses so that you can get different colours at different times. I mean, it looks pretty, it's great at Christmas time, but it barely gets used, so it's sort of a bit of a waste. And although it's not really taking up much space, it's going to be awkward having it there when I'm doing the decorating. But because I don't use it often enough, I can't really justify keeping it. Now luckily it's all held up with just these little spring clips, so it's not actually stuck to the wall. It's within this trunking, this aluminium profile, and the aluminium profile is just held up with these little clips with just one little screw going into the wall. So cleanup's going to be reasonably clean. But the thing is, I could always put those outside in the garden or something. There's another potential project. So transfer these to the garden, although obviously I'm going to have to be careful when I dismantle them, because the actual LEDs are stuck to the back of the profile. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. So, who got to see the Northern Lights the other day? I feel like I'm the only person on the planet who slept through the most spectacular Aurora Borealis, like right across the UK, right down as far as Devon and Cornwall. They had the dancing skies, and I have always wanted to see the Aurora Borealis my whole life, and I missed it. I slept straight through it. I'm so gutted. And I keep, I've got this Aurora alert thing, like an app on my phone, and it keeps going off. We keep getting these spikes, and I keep looking at the skies, looking for signs of it, but I've missed out on the big one. And I'm so annoyed with myself because I knew it was going to be a possibility, and I just forgot about it. And I just chilled away, you know, sort of in the evening. I think I was just watching TV while it was all going on outside. And I was like, oh. So I don't know whether I'm ever going to get to see, you know, it ever with my own eyes. I mean, the thousands and thousands of photographs that are on Facebook and everything of like these amazing lights all through the sky. But yeah, so I'm really alert now. Every time my phone pings and I get an alert for an Aurora spike, I'm there, you know, at the window with my camera ready. But so far, nothing. I've seen nothing. But I'm hoping that, you know, while the sun is in this really active state at the moment, I might get to see another one, but we'll see. So anyway, that was my attempt at making a video after 2 months. I'm totally out of practice. I'm sure this is a long, waffly video where I'm talking lots and saying very little. But it's kind of, I guess it's nice to sort of get back into the practice of things. Whether I make any more anytime soon, I don't know. I just kind of felt like making a video today. But like I say, I'm still in that place where I've got no drive to do anything. Today is like a little blip. Hopefully it's not just a blip. Hopefully it's kind of like a little trend starting. That would be good. But for now, I'm just going to tick along, go with the flow, see how I feel, you know, and as and when those moments come along where I feel like I'm going to grab the camera, I'll do that. And if I don't feel like grabbing the camera, then I'll do that as well. So, You may see me, you know, next week or in a few days' time or next month, who knows. But here we are, and hopefully it's a start. So that's it from me. If I think of anything else to say, I'm sure there were loads of other things I wanted to cover, but I should have written them down because I've completely forgotten them. But hopefully at some point, those will pop into my head. I'll write them down and I'll cover them in the next video. Hopefully that won't be too far away. So thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care. Ooh, that was my battery pack falling off the leg of the tripod. Just in case you were wondering.